You think being alone is easy? Think again. This isn't about weakness, this is about power. You take a woman who's got no friends, who doesn't have people lining up to have her back. That's a woman who's had to learn to stand on her own 2 feet. She doesn't get the luxury of a support team or a cheering squad. She's got herself, her own fire, and that's more than most will ever understand. Self-reliance. Self-reliance is the core of independence and personal resilience, a state where you know that everything you need to navigate life exists within you. It's not just a simple mindset shift, it's a way of living. Imagine the strength required to walk through life without constantly seeking the support or validation of others. It's a strength that is forged slowly, over time, through the experiences that push you to find your own answers, make your own decisions, and keep moving forward, even when you're the only one in your corner. Being self-reliant means you're not waiting for someone else to come along and solve your problems or tell you what to do. You develop a powerful sense of inner control, knowing that the outcome of your life rests in your own hands. It's about cultivating a mindset where you trust yourself above anyone else, where you know that if things get hard, you won't fall apart because you faced difficulty before and you've overcome it on your own. The journey to self-reliance is not an easy one. It demands effort, courage, and the willingness to be uncomfortable. You don't reach this place overnight. It comes from years of facing challenges head-on, of learning that you are capable of solving problems without needing someone else to do it for you. Every time you overcome a setback or handle a tough situation alone, you're laying another brick in the foundation of self-reliance. You're building a relationship with yourself that's based on trust and understanding. You know your strengths, and you know your limits, not because someone told you, but because you've explored them yourself through real experiences. Self-reliance teaches you how to live without the safety net of constant support. It's not about rejecting the help of others when it's available. It's about knowing that you can move forward without it. This creates an internal confidence that becomes an anchor in your life, keeping you steady even when everything around you feels uncertain. You become adaptable, knowing that no matter what changes happen, you can rely on your own abilities to figure things out. It's a skill that makes you resilient and gives you the courage to take risks because you know that, come success or failure, you have the ability to handle what comes next. Relying on yourself brings freedom, as you no longer need to depend on the opinions, resources, or validation of others to feel secure. Your sense of self-worth grows because you're no longer looking outside yourself to feel complete or capable. This freedom allows you to pursue your own goals without distraction, to take a path that's truly your own, and to make choices that are in line with your values and vision. It's about breaking away from the need to conform, to follow, or to lean on others. You begin to trust your own voice, your own intuition, and your own wisdom. There's no more waiting for permission or doubting if you're good enough, because you know deeply that you can face whatever life hands you. Self-reliance is a deep commitment to yourself, a promise that you will be there for yourself when no one else is. It's the willingness to carry the weight of your own responsibilities, to endure the struggles, and to keep moving forward without anyone pushing you. It's learning to celebrate your own victories, even the small ones, because you know how much effort it took to get there. Each success, no matter how small, adds to your strength, reinforcing your belief in your own capabilities. You become more than just resilient, you become self-sustaining, able to find strength, motivation, and clarity from within. It's a quiet power, but it's unbreakable, formed from the repeated choice to stand tall and keep going, regardless of who's watching or who's there to support you. Inner strength. Inner strength is the quiet power within, a force that doesn't rely on external validation or circumstances, but instead comes from a deeply rooted sense of self. It's what keeps you grounded in moments of chaos, giving you the resilience to face obstacles without crumbling. This strength is built from a lifetime of experiences, often born out of hardship and challenges that require you to dig deeper, push through pain, and keep moving forward even when it would be easier to give up. Inner strength is not always visible. It doesn't need to make a show of itself. It's there in the way you handle setbacks with dignity, in the patience you show during difficult times, and in your ability to control your reactions even when emotions are high. This strength builds over time, layer by layer, through the small choices you make, daily choices to persevere, to hold your ground, to stay true to your values. It comes from knowing that you've faced adversity before and can handle it again, from the belief that no matter what happens, you have the capacity to endure, adapt, and overcome. This strength often grows when you're forced to confront your fears or when you face situations that stretch your limits. It's in these moments of vulnerability that you realize you're capable of more than you ever imagined. You come to see that you don't break as easily as you thought, that there is a well of resilience within you waiting to be tapped into. Inner strength gives you the courage to take risks and the confidence to trust your own judgment, even when others doubt you. It's an anchor, steadying you when life storms hit, allowing you to stand firm when everything else feels uncertain. Unlike external forms of strength, which can be influenced by opinions, circumstances, or so fleeting moments of confidence, inner strength remains consistent, unshaken by the ups and downs of life. It's the resolve that keeps you going in the face of discouragement, the patience to endure long periods of struggle, and the self-assurance that allows you to walk alone if necessary. Inner strength also means accepting yourself fully, with both your strengths and your flaws. It's knowing that you don't need to be perfect to be strong, and that your worth isn't tied to your achievements or the approval of others. This acceptance brings a profound sense of peace, allowing you to move through life without constantly seeking validation. With inner strength, you develop an unwavering sense of purpose, one that isn't easily shaken, allowing you to pursue your goals with a steady determination that doesn't fade over time. It's the kind of strength that doesn't depend on motivation or fleeting bursts of energy, but rather on discipline and commitment. Inner strength fuels the discipline to do what needs to be done, even when it's hard, and the commitment to keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow. It's a quiet, unbreakable resolve, something that builds in the background of your life, making you stronger every day, no matter what challenges you face. Self-discovery. Self-discovery is the journey of truly understanding yourself, diving beyond the surface to uncover your authentic thoughts, values, strengths, and desires. It's a process that requires introspection, time, and a willingness to face the truths that lie within, even the uncomfortable ones. Self-discovery often begins when you strip away the layers of expectations that others place on you, and when you're no longer influenced by what society, friends, or family think you should be. This is where you start to tune into your own voice, distinguishing it from the noise around you. In self-discovery, you learn what motivates you and what truly matters to you at a core level. You may realize that some goals you once pursued weren't really yours, they were shaped by others' perceptions or pressures. Through this process, you begin to question your beliefs, your values, and the choices you've made, peeling back the layers until you reveal the genuine reasons behind your actions. This isn't always an easy journey, as it often requires letting go of past identities and stepping into the unknown to explore who you are at a deeper level. Self-discovery demands that you become honest with yourself, acknowledging both your strengths and your weaknesses without judgment. You come to understand your patterns of behavior, identifying what brings you happiness, peace, and fulfillment, and what drains you or holds you back. Through this exploration, you begin to recognize the unique qualities that define you, and you see yourself from a perspective that's grounded in authenticity, rather than what you think others expect. This journey of self-discovery also involves embracing the parts of yourself that you may have previously hidden or ignored. It's about accepting yourself fully and unconditionally, allowing yourself the freedom to explore interests, desires, and ambitions that might not align with what you once thought was acceptable or normal. This self-acceptance brings a sense of liberation, giving you permission to be who you are without fear of judgment or rejection. You come to understand that your worth isn't based on the roles you play or the accomplishments you achieve, but rather on the person you are underneath it all. Self-discovery is a continual process, a journey without a clear endpoint, as you are constantly evolving and changing. Each experience, challenge, and success becomes a new lens through which you understand yourself more deeply. You begin to see that self-discovery isn't about finding a final version of yourself, but rather embracing the fluidity of who you are and allowing yourself to grow. Through self-discovery, you cultivate a deeper connection with yourself, fostering a relationship that is grounded in respect, acceptance, and self-love. It's a process that ultimately empowers you to live a life that's aligned with your true values, goals, and passions, creating a life that feels genuine and fulfilling from the inside out. Quiet battles. Quiet battles are the personal struggles that we face within ourselves, often invisible to the outside world. These battles don't come with recognition or applause. They are fought silently, deep within our minds and hearts. Quiet battles are the moments when we wrestle with our fears, insecurities, doubts, and setbacks, confronting them alone with only our inner resolve to see us through. These are the struggles that occur in the silence of our thoughts, testing our resilience, determination, and commitment to ourselves. They might include overcoming self-doubt, pushing through periods of loneliness, dealing with loss, managing stress, or confronting past traumas that have lingered within us. In these quiet battles, there is no external validation. No one may even know they're happening. It's a deeply personal process, often requiring us to confront parts of ourselves that we might have hidden or neglected. Each quiet battle is a test of our strength, forcing us to find courage in moments of vulnerability and to keep pushing forward when it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down. These battles build resilience, shaping us and adding layers of strength we wouldn't otherwise have. There where we come face to face with our inner critic, with the part of us that doubts our worth or ability, and where we learn to quiet that voice through action, persistence, and a belief in ourselves. Quiet battles demand that we show up even when we don't feel ready or strong. They teach us patience as we learn to sit with our pain or discomfort without running from it. Through these battles, we gain a profound understanding of who we are when no one is watching, when there's no one to impress or prove ourselves to. The strength gained from these struggles is subtle but powerful. It's the kind of strength that doesn't fade when circumstances change because it's rooted in hard-earned personal growth. With each quiet battle won, we develop a deeper sense of self-trust, knowing that we can handle the unseen challenges life presents. These silent struggles also foster empathy. As we begin to understand that everyone around us may be facing their own unseen battles, we learn to carry our own burdens with grace and in turn can show compassion for the unspoken struggles others might be enduring. Quiet battles remind us that growth doesn't always happen through grand gestures or public victories. It often happens in the small, private moments when we confront ourselves, overcome our fears, and rise above our doubts. They are a reminder that real strength is developed not just in the triumphs everyone sees, but in the silent victories that shape who we truly are. Unbreakable discipline. Unbreakable discipline is the relentless commitment to doing what needs to be done, no matter the obstacles or temptations to quit. It's the kind of discipline that doesn't waver with mood, motivation, or convenience. Instead, it's driven by a deep sense of purpose and dedication. This discipline is forged through consistency, through repeatedly choosing effort over ease, and through the gradual mastery of self-control. It's not about achieving perfection, but rather about showing up each day, regardless of how you feel, and honoring the commitments you've made to yourself. Unbreakable discipline requires pushing through discomfort and resisting distractions, making choices that align with long-term goals, even when the immediate payoff isn't visible. It's the strength to stick with the process, especially when the results are slow to come or when doubt creeps in. This type of discipline is built slowly over time, through countless moments of choosing progress over instant gratification. It's not driven by fleeting bursts of inspiration, but by a steady, internal resolve that doesn't rely on external validation or rewards. With unbreakable discipline, setbacks aren't seen as failures, but as learning experiences, opportunities to adjust and refocus rather than reasons to give up. This mindset fuels resilience, enabling you to stay the course even when things get tough. Each day that you honor your commitments, no matter how small, you reinforce a belief in your own capability, strengthening your resolve to keep going. Through this discipline, you develop a routine that becomes almost second nature, where effort and consistency become habits rather than struggles. Unbreakable discipline also requires a clear sense of purpose, a vision that guides your actions and keeps you anchored when challenges arise. When you know what you're working toward and why it matters, discipline becomes more than just a matter of willpower. It's a dedication to a cause that goes beyond momentary discomfort. This kind of discipline gives you the endurance to continue when the initial excitement fades, grounding you in the process rather than just the outcome. It's a powerful force, one that makes you resilient to distractions, doubts, and the ups and downs of daily life, allowing you to stay focused and steady on the path you've chosen. Resilience to loneliness. Resilience to loneliness is the ability to withstand and even embrace solitude without letting it break your spirit. It's the strength to exist independently, to be comfortable in your own presence, and to find peace in being alone. This resilience isn't about ignoring the need for human connection. It's about learning to thrive even in its absence. It's the result of developing a relationship with yourself where you can rely on your own company, where silence and solitude become places of reflection rather than sources of discomfort. This resilience is often built from experience, from moments where you've had to stand on your own, face challenges without support, and learn that you are enough. Resilience to loneliness requires confronting and overcoming the initial discomfort that can arise from being alone. Instead of seeing loneliness as an emptiness that needs to be filled, it becomes an opportunity to understand and connect with yourself on a deeper level. It's finding strength in solitude, where you can explore your thoughts, understand your emotions, and grow without external influence. In this state, you start to see loneliness not as isolation, but as a chance to cultivate self-awareness and self-acceptance. Through time spent alone, you learn to appreciate your own worth, to validate your feelings, and to navigate your inner world without needing reassurance from others. This resilience allows you to pursue your goals without being dependent on constant social validation or companionship. It creates a form of freedom where you no longer rely on others to feel complete or fulfilled. You become less affected by the absence of company and more focused on your own growth, understanding that solitude is not a reflection of your value, but a tool for self-development. When you're resilient to loneliness, you are less likely to compromise yourself for the sake of fitting in or to fill a void with shallow connections. You become selective with relationships, valuing quality over quantity, and are able to create a life that's meaningful with or without others. Developing resilience to loneliness doesn't mean you don't value connection. Rather, it means that connection becomes a choice rather than a necessity. You learn to draw strength from within, to be your own source of comfort and motivation, and to find fulfillment in your own journey. This resilience gives you the courage to walk past others might not understand, to make decisions based on your own values, and to follow your own vision, even when it means standing alone. It's a quiet strength that allows you to navigate life independently, giving you the confidence to trust yourself and the peace of knowing that you are enough on your own. Freedom from validation. Freedom from validation is the liberation that comes from no longer needing others' approval to feel worthy, complete, or successful. It's a deep-rooted sense of self-worth that is independent of external opinions, praise, or criticism. This freedom allows you to live authentically, grounded in your own values and beliefs rather than being swayed by the judgments or expectations of others. When you are free from validation, your confidence is self-sustaining, arising from within rather than from the temporary affirmations of those around you. It's a powerful shift where your decisions, actions, and sense of identity are guided by your own understanding of who you are and what matters to you, rather than by societal standards or peer pressure. Achieving this freedom often requires self-reflection and self-acceptance. You learn to trust your own judgment, even if it goes against popular opinion, and to embrace your individuality, even if it doesn't conform to others' ideas of success or happiness. This inner confidence enables you to pursue your goals without the fear of failure or rejection, knowing that your worth isn't determined by the outcome or by others' perceptions. You become comfortable with standing alone, with charting your own path, and with making decisions based on your own values rather than on what will be liked or accepted by others. Freedom from validation also strengthens resilience to criticism. You can acknowledge others' perspectives without letting them define you, understanding that everyone views the world through their own lens. This mindset empowers you to take risks, to speak your truth, and to live in a way that feels meaningful and fulfilling to you. It removes the pressure to please or impress, allowing you to focus on what genuinely brings you joy, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose. This freedom fosters authenticity and self-respect as you no longer mold yourself to fit others' expectations or seek approval to feel secure. It's a release from the constant need to perform, to prove, or to compare, and instead, it's an embrace of who you are at your core. This independence allows you to experience life on your own terms, to connect with others in genuine ways, and to live with a confidence that is unwavering because it comes from a place of self-understanding and self-acceptance. With freedom from validation, you gain a profound sense of peace and stability, a life that is true to you with or without the approval of others. Self-motivation. Self-motivation is the drive that comes from within, a force that propels you to take action, pursue goals, and overcome obstacles without needing external encouragement or pressure. It's the ability to find purpose and inspiration from your own vision, values, and ambitions, pushing you to keep moving forward even when the path is challenging. Self-motivation is rooted in a deep connection to what genuinely matters to you, so your actions aren't reliant on praise, rewards, or recognition from others. This inner drive enables you to create momentum for yourself, to set goals and work consistently toward them, and to maintain focus through ups and downs. Self-motivation requires clarity and a sense of purpose. When you understand why you want something, the work required to achieve it feels meaningful, giving you the energy to persist through challenges and setbacks. It's the commitment to put in the effort regardless of circumstances without relying on anyone else to push you forward. You become accountable to yourself, setting standards and holding yourself to them because you see the value in your goals and respect the effort it takes to achieve them. Through self-motivation, you build discipline, learning to keep promises you make to yourself and developing the consistency needed to reach long-term aspirations. With self-motivation, you're able to generate your own enthusiasm and resilience. You learn to celebrate small wins along the way, fueling your drive by recognizing the progress you're making. This approach allows you to stay focused, grounded, and persistent, as you're less likely to be thrown off course by temporary setbacks or distractions. Instead of relying on others to lift you up, you cultivate an internal support system where you encourage yourself, set realistic goals, and find satisfaction in the process. This self-reliance is empowering because you're not dependent on fleeting external factors. Your motivation is steady, resilient, and adaptable. Self-motivation also encourages personal growth as it pushes you to step out of your comfort zone and take initiative, even when things get difficult. It instills a sense of confidence and trust in your abilities, showing you that you can create your own path and work towards your dreams without needing others to validate or guide you. Through this motivation, you develop a deep sense of self-worth, knowing that you're driven by your own intentions and aspirations. Self-motivation allows you to work toward a future that aligns with your vision, keeping you grounded and persistent through the inevitable highs and lows. It's a source of energy that sustains you, guiding you toward a life that's meaningful and fulfilling, achieved through your own dedication and belief in what you can accomplish. Inner peace. Inner peace. Inner peace is a state of mental and emotional calmness, where you are free from the turmoil of constant worry, stress, and external chaos. It's a deep sense of tranquility that comes from within, unshaken by the challenges, conflicts, or fluctuations of the outside world. Inner peace allows you to experience life with clarity and balance, enabling you to navigate difficulties without being overwhelmed by them. It's not the absence of problems, but rather the ability to remain composed and centered, regardless of the circumstances. This peace comes from aligning your thoughts, actions, and emotions with your core values and beliefs, allowing you to accept yourself fully and live in harmony with what is. Achieving inner peace often requires letting go of things that no longer serve you, negative emotions, unhealthy attachments, or unresolved conflicts. It involves forgiving yourself and others, releasing grudges, and accepting that not everything is within your control. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity, rather. It's the recognition that some situations are beyond your influence, and peace is found in how you respond to them. Inner peace allows you to detach from the need to control every outcome, trusting that life will unfold as it should, and giving yourself the freedom to flow with it. It also requires self-awareness and mindfulness. The more aware you are of your thoughts and emotions, the better equipped you are to manage them. Inner peace grows as you learn to observe your mind without judgment, recognizing when negative thoughts arise and consciously choosing not to be consumed by them. This awareness helps you avoid reacting impulsively and instead respond to situations with a calm, measured approach. Over time, the practice of mindfulness becomes a natural part of life, creating a steady foundation of peace that you can return to whenever needed. Another aspect of inner peace is cultivating gratitude and focusing on the present moment. When you embrace the present, free from the weight of past regrets or future anxieties, you find a sense of calm. Gratitude helps shift your focus from what you lack to what you have, creating a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. By acknowledging and appreciating the small moments, you build a reservoir of peace that sustains you even when life feels turbulent. Inner peace comes from within your own ability to maintain a positive and centered mindset, regardless of external pressures. It's a result of your own choices and practices, a deep internal state that doesn't rely on external validation or circumstances. This peace becomes an anchor in your life, allowing you to weather storms, face challenges, and move through life with a sense of grace and calm, knowing that you are secure within yourself. Redefining strength. Redefining strength involves shifting away from the traditional idea of strength as solely physical power or the ability to endure hardship without showing emotion. It's about understanding that true strength is multifaceted and goes beyond just muscle or toughness. Strength can be found in vulnerability, in the courage to face your fears and uncertainties, and in the emotional resilience to cope with life's challenges without being defeated by them. It's about embracing your weaknesses and flaws and using them as sources of growth rather than shame. Redefining strength means recognizing that asking for help, expressing your feelings, and acknowledging when you're not okay are all acts of great power. This new definition of strength also includes mental and emotional fortitude, where strength is shown in the ability to remain calm and composed in stressful situations, to make clear decisions under pressure, and to stay grounded even when things are falling apart. Strength is not simply about enduring pain or hardship, but about knowing when to step back, reassess, and find a way forward. It's about having the wisdom to know that enduring unnecessary suffering for the sake of pride or ego isn't a mark of strength, but knowing how to protect your well-being while facing adversity is. Redefining strength also means having the courage to change your perspective and take a different path when necessary. It's the strength to admit when you're wrong, to learn from your mistakes, and to continuously evolve. Strength is no longer about stubbornly holding onto one way of thinking or acting, but about adapting, growing, and becoming more flexible in your approach to life. It's the ability to face disappointment, failure, and rejection, and instead of letting them define you, you use them as motivation to keep going and improve. Redefining strength is about self-awareness and self-acceptance. It's about knowing who you truly are, what you stand for, and living with integrity, even when it's difficult. It's also about knowing your limits and setting boundaries to protect your peace and your mental health. This type of strength comes from a deep connection with your values, allowing you to face external pressures or judgments without compromising who you are. It's the realization that strength is not about how others perceive you, but about how you perceive yourself and how you continue to show up for yourself every day, regardless of the obstacles you face.